This layer decides how to ask for information before asking what to retrieve. Query handling systems, Smart RAG layer. Big idea, one sentence. Instead of sending a raw question to retrieval, you analyze, expand, split, and orchestrate queries so retrieval has the best possible chance to succeed. 1. Why Smart RAG exists at all. Users ask questions like humans, vague, overloaded, ambiguous, multi-part, vector stores expect, focused queries, clear intent, scoped retrieval. So Dev is about the translator in the middle. 2. Query expansion. Say more than the user did, what it is. You take the user's query and expand it with related terms or synonyms to improve recall. Example, user asks, open quote, leave policy for parents, close quote. Expanded internally to parental leave, maternity leave, paternity leave, carer leave, paid parental leave. All of these are used for retrieval even though the user never typed them. Why AWS likes this? Increases recall, reduces nothing found cases, helps with shorter vague queries. Exam signal, improve recall, broaden search, synonyms, query expansion. Query decomposition, split complex questions. What it is, you break a multi-part question into multiple focused subqueries. Example, user asks, open quote, what are the tax benefits and eligibility rules for first home buyers in NSW after 2023? Close quote, decomposed into 1. Tax benefits for first home buyers in NSW after 2023. 2. Eligibility rules for first home buyers in NSW after 2023. Each subquery retrieves its own evidence. Why this matters? Each subquestion is clearer. Retrieval quality improves. Final answer is more complete. Exam signal, multi-part question, complex query, query decomposition. Nata 4. Query transformation, change the shape, not the meaning. What it is, you rewrite the query into a form better suited for retrieval, not for humans. Examples, turn a question into a statement. Remove conversational fluff. Normalize tense and wording. User, open quote, can you tell me if I'm allowed to? Close quote. Transformed, open quote, eligibility criteria for, close quote. Why this helps vector and keyword search work better on concise factual phrasing. Exam signal, rewrite for retrieval. Normalize queries. Query transformation. 5. Orchestration with step functions. This is the AWS part. All of the above steps are not one LLM call, they're a pipeline. Typical flow, you can see the code in our conversation history. This orchestration is often done with AWS step functions because it gives you branching, retries, parallel retrieval, observability, exam signal, multi-step query handling, orchestration, branching, step functions. Chapter 6, AWS Static+1, Query Handling Edition, Static, Expansion Rules, Decomposition Logic, Transformation Templates, Orchestration Workflow. +1, the user query. You design the system once. Each query flows through it. That's Static 1 again. 7, MCP Clients Concept, Retrieval Access Patterns. This is subtle and very exam-y. What MCP Clients means, conceptually. Think of standardized clients that know how to talk to retrieval systems in a consistent way. They request context, specify scopes, define access patterns, avoid ad hoc retrieval logic everywhere. Why this exists? Without this, every agent or service implements retrieval differently, breaks consistency, causes security and quality issues. With MCP-style clients, retrieval is standardized, access is controlled, context is predictable. You don't need protocol-level details for the exam, just the concept. Clients that standardize how models and agents access retrieval context. 8. Realistic end-to-end example. User query. Compare parental leave and care leave policies for NSW employees. Smart RAG handling. 1. Detect complexity, needs comparison. 2. Decompose, parental leave policy NSW, care leave policy NSW. 3. Expand, synonyms and policy names. 4. Transform, concise factual phrasing. 5. Retrieve, possibly in parallel. 6. Aggregate. 7. Generate answer. Without this layer, 1 fuzzy query, partial retrieval, weak answer. 9. Classic exam traps. Watch carefully. Send raw query directly to VectorDB. LLM magically fixes retrieval. Query expansion replaces metadata filters. Decomposition is only for prompts. AWS wants systems thinking, not prompt optimism. 1 memory story. Lock it in. The research assistant expansion. What else could this mean? Decomposition. Is this actually multiple questions? Transformation. How do I phrase this for the library? Orchestration, let me coordinate the research. MCP client, one official request form for all departments. The assistant prepares the question before going to the library. SHAC, exam compression rules, memorize, vague query expand, complex query decompose, chatty query transform, multi-step logic, step functions, consistent retrieval access, MCP-style clients. If the answer treats retrieval as a single call, it's likely wrong. What AWS is really testing? They're testing whether you understand that the quality of answers depends more on how you ask than what you ask. Smart RAG systems shape queries before retrieval ever happens. Only really sticks once you see how a smart RAG layer behaves in the wild. Below are 3 real production-style examples that AWS exam questions are clearly inspired by. Real examples. Day 12, query handling systems. Example 1, HR policy assistant, query expansion. User query raw. What's the leave policy for parents? This is too vague for retrieval. Smart RAG behavior. Step 1, query expansion. The system expands the query internally to include parental leave, maternity leave, paternity leave, care leave, paid parental leave. The user never sees this. Have retrieval. Each expanded term is searched in the vector store, often via OpenSearch or a managed KB. Result. Instead of no results, you get all relevant policy sections. Why AWS loves this? Improves recall, reduces false negatives, no prompt trickery. Exam takeaway. Shorter vague queries, query expansion. Example 2, legal research assistant, queryzation, user query. What are the eligibility rules and tax benefits for first home buyers in NSW after 2023? This is 2 questions pretending to be one. Smart RAG behavior. Step 1, detect complexity. The system detects multiple topics, conjunction, decompose. It splits into 1, eligibility rules for first home buyers in NSW after 2023. 2, tax benefits for first home buyers in NSW after 2023. Orchestration. These subqueries are retrieved in parallel using AWS step functions. Each query applies metadata filters. NSW, year 2023, uses hybrid search, may use re-ranking day 11. Aggregation results are combined into a single structured context for the LLM. Why AWS loves this? Better coverage, cleaner retrieval, easier to debug. Exam takeaway, multi-part question, query decomposition. Example 3, customer support chatbot query transformation. User query chatty. Hey, can you tell me if I'm allowed to cancel my subscription and maybe get a refund? Humans talk like this. Search engines hate it. Smart RAG behavior. Step 1, query transformation. The system rewrites it to subscription cancellation policy, refund eligibility criteria. No new meaning is added, only clarity. Retrieval short, factual queries perform better in vector search, keyword search, hybrid systems. Why AWS loves this? Smaller prompts, more deterministic retrieval, less noise. Exam takeaway. Conversational input, query transformation. Example 4, full smart RAG orchestration all combined. User query. Compare parental leave and care leave policies for NSW employees hired after 2022. End-to-end flow. 1, analyze query. Detects comparisons, multiple topics. 2, decompose. Parental leave policy NSW after 2022. Care leave policy NSW after 2022. 3, expand. Add synonyms and official policy names. 4, transform. Concise, factual phrasing. 5, retrieve. Hybrid search filters, possibly in parallel. 6, aggregate. Merge evidence. 7, answer all orchestration is handled by step functions, not one giant prompt. Example 5, MCP-style client, retrieval access pattern. Problem without MCP-style clients. Every agent queries the vector store differently, different filters, different scopes, inconsistent security. With MCP-style client, conceptually, you create a standard retrieval client that accepts, query, tenant ID, topic, max documents, always applies, metadata filters, hybrid search rules, re-ranking policy. All agents use this client. Why AWS cares? Consistency, security, predictability, easier auditing. Exam takeaway. MCP clients standardized retrieval access, not ad hoc queries. Static+1, real-world lock-in. Static, expansion rules, decomposition logic, transformation templates, orchestration workflow, retrieval client interface. +1, user query, system logic stays fixed. Queries flow through it. One memory story, never forget. The research coordinator expansion? What else could this mean? Decomposition. Is this more than one question? Transformation. How should I phrase this for the archive? Step functions. Let me coordinate the research. MCP client. Everyone uses the same request form. Good answers come from better questions, not bigger models. Ultra short exam cheat sheet. Vague, expand. Complex, decompose. Chatty, transform. Multi-step, up, step functions. Consistent retrieval, MCP style client.